Vaporwave. To some of you, this word means nothing. To others, it's a meme, and to some, it's a genuine form of music. Either way, I still feel that it's a thriving genre and needs to be talked about more on YouTube. Now, for those of you who don't know what Vaporwave is, here's my quick definition. Vaporwave used to be a critique of 80s and 90s consumerism and capitalism, and in some forms today still is, but has evolved into many different subgenres, and today is mainly about evoking nostalgia by either taking samples of 80s and 90s songs, TV, or mall samples, and editing them to make them slowed down or sound like they're being played on a cassette. This is literally just the tip of the iceberg, as there are more than 20 different types of this genre, but that's just the basics. Also, I just found 2 great content creators that are leading the pack in terms of Vaporwave reviews and content on YouTube. That of course being Pad Chennington and John Foster. I had been thinking about making this type of video for a while, but these 2 inspired me, so shout out to them, and without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, this video is going to be a review of Cat System Corp's relatively new album, A Class in Cryptocurrency, and why I think it brings Vaporwave back to its roots. Now, the first thing to note about Vaporwave's roots is that it was never intended to be something that makes you feel as though you're walking through a dimly lit mall in the 80s, far past closing time. At first, it was, as I said earlier, a critique of 80s and 90s consumerism, and that shows by its heavy use of music, otherwise known as elevator music. This type of music played a lot in Kmart's, Walmart's, and many other stores during the 80s and 90s. Downpitching, cutting, and mixing music was a way to critique consumerism in music form, and thus Vaporwave was born. Now, Cat Corp's music has always been mocking consumerism, but it's been a bit of a lower key than now. Now, Cat Corp's main subgenre of Vaporwave is mallsoft, which is one of my favorite types, by the way. It's the type of music you'd hear on the Weather Channel, in malls, or stores in the 80s or 90s. Now, mallsoft itself is around 70% nostalgia and 30% a critique on capitalism. Even though this album is still mallsoft, I feel that it is heavy themes of old Vaporwave and consumerism, especially in tracks like To the Moon and A Class in Cryptocurrency. This theme is very prevalent.
In Bitcoin, I multiply that price by 10 because that's where I think that Bitcoin is going.
Because of their use of people talking about Bitcoin and mallsoft music. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Well, how exactly do Bitcoin, Vaporwave, and anti-consumerism connect? Well, if you think about it, Bitcoin is the opposite of consumerism. Having a currency that's not tracked or run by the government and cannot be used to market to specific consumers actually makes sense in terms of being anti-consumerism. And even after all of that, this album just keeps getting better. From the vibes of installing your program on your computer through a floppy disk, to the PSAs on how to install them, and even the Windows 95 art style on the cover. It just keeps getting better. This album is a true testament that when you put Bitcoins, mallsoft, and floppy disk PSAs into a blender, you just might get a great Vaporwave album. My name is XanderRazorX, and I'll see you in the next video.